Well, when you win the contest, you not only get to host the contest the following year, but you're also pre-qualified to the grand finals. No semifinals for you, so I am going to use this opportunity right here, right now, to share with you my favorite host entries of this past decade, the 2010s. Let's talk Eurovision. What's up, you fools? Mad ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and yes, you have voted. And if you are following me on Twitter, if not, do so now. You get to vote in the poll for the next video I'm going to make, and you decided that I should review all the host entries of this past decade, and I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, and we'll share my thoughts and not just give you a little clip because that's kind of boring. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Keep in mind this is subjective and just my opinion, and I want to add one very important thing here. When you watch my videos, I tend to be a very friendly, upbeat, nice guy. I tend to get the nice guy reputation, even though I wasn't really aiming for that because, oh well, there's always so much pressure. But if you want nice Matt, you better skip this video because I will not be nice. I'm going to say something. Two things, actually. Number one, the host entries for the most part this year, sucked, big time. And maybe it has to do with the fact that, well, the one already, maybe they can take a more daring, different approach, but for the most part, most of them actually were really, really bad entries, and I was not happy, so I will not sugarcoat it right now. There were a few that I really liked and embraced, but most of them kind of were like... So, I just want to give you that disclaimer up front. But let's get this going. I'm going to share with you my favorites from 10th to 1st place. Here we go. So my 10th place, therefore my least favorite host entry of the decade. Sorry, but it's 2013. Yes, Sweden's entry when they won after Loreen, they went from high to very low as far as my personal taste is concerned. Look, it may be a little bit more of a surprising last place, I get that, but almost everything about this entry rubbed me the wrong way. Do you know the songs that exist? It's a boring song title, first of all. You. Woohoo. But anyway, it's an unpleasant melody. It's just a chorus that is grating to my ears. And I gotta say, I really struggled with Robin's vocals. It just doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't sit right with me. And everything together, it was really a rough experience, especially the chorus. It's 'cause of you. My 9th place, better than nothing, I guess. In 9th place, I'm putting 2017. Now, yes, listen, I can appreciate good rock. I can, and I want that at Eurovision, but this just wasn't it. This wasn't it. Time was not it. And I just talk to rock fans who are also Eurovision fans, but they usually just support the rock songs, interestingly enough, and even they were like, I don't get this one. I don't get this one at all. So it's just not much there, I guess. The fact that they're bad English, like they don't speak English, you can tell. And it doesn't connect. And I don't believe it. And yet they're singing English and it just rubs me the wrong way. I just didn't buy it. I just didn't buy it. And Ukraine tends to take a risk when they host because they're qualified to the finals anyway. The same thing happened in 2005. All I remember about this performance is a big-ass head in the stage somewhere there, or that's all I remember, and a lot of noise. So that's all I can remember, and that can't be a good thing, right? If you think I'm done complaining, think again. I told you, I'm not very happy with the host entries. My 8th place, 2016. Sorry, Sweden, you had a really good decade, but it seems when you host, I just don't like your songs. And the Swedish entries along my list overall, they're a few good ones, of course. Frans songs always got me that vibe. I don't want to be here. I so don't want to be here. And yes, maybe that's actually somewhat endearing to some folks. Yeah, there's a cool standoffish thing. But to me, it was more for repellent more than anything. I'm like, I can't. I want people at least being into the experience. This is like, no. So he hardly sings in the song. It's mostly talking. I guess it's a certain style that appeals to people, but not to me. I don't actually mind the first 30 to 45 seconds of the song, but as soon as they break into the first chorus, I'm out. I'm out. One of the big mysteries to me, I don't understand how the juries and televoters supported that one, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. Moving on, more bad songs coming up in 7th place. Oh gosh, why am I so negative? If this is your first video watching here of ESC Unite, I'm usually not like that. But in 7th place, it's 2010. So, 2010, Norway hosted that year, and Didrik, he tried to impress us with this big "My Heart Is Yours" pop, with like switch it up with his pop classical style voice thing, you know? Those shoes were just too big for him. That song, I thought he could do it, but he wasn't as good as he thought he was vocally. I need to listen to his music these days and see if he has matured, but he wasn't ready for it in 2010 for that song. I guess the classical arrangement was supposed to help his voice shine, but in the end it made it just really uncomfortable for me. He just wasn't there. That's all I can say. His strange diction on top of it was also funny. Do you remember that? It was always like, "My heart is yours." Thanks, Didrik, but not here. Alright, in 6th place, still a song I'm not really crazy about, but it's on my list because all of them are. It's 2000 and this is going to be upsetting because a lot of people love it. I was not into it in 2018. So I know, as I said, a lot of you will be pissed to see it this far down on my list, but this is a night of honesty. Everyone knows that I'm a huge fan of Salvador, right? It's one of my favorite winners the prior year, so there was all this hope and anticipation, especially by the Portuguese fans, that I will love this one just as much. I got all of these comments, Matt, what do you think of Claudia's song? You love it? You like it? And I listened to it. It was pleasant once, and I was already bored the second time I heard it. It's not that I dislike it. This is certainly not like I hate it, but I want to give it some credit. First of all, it's contemporary. It's kind of like modest, and it's touching. Claudia sings it well. It's full of emotions. It's that kind of song that just did not speak to me. So when I saw it flop at Eurovision, I was, of course, sad for Portugal, but I can't say I was surprised. Moving on to my top 5. And we're still going into like, whatever category here. 5th place, a few people will shake their heads. It's 2014. What? Why is that so high up on your list? Listen, this song was kind of bad. I'm not even denying it. And I put it higher than some other songs that you thought, how could you do that? I know that you're saying that. And I like what about the song is it's in your face. Like, it's a cliche love song. Like, it's a parody of a love song, so they get away with a whole lot more. They're not trying to be a real love song. So this whole Scooby-Dooby-Dap-Bye, I can forgive it because they're making fun of that genre, actually, and that's why I'm a little bit more forgiving here. It's almost more like an Weird Al Yankovic parody to me, just not as funny. It wasn't really funny, but it was kind of in your face, kind of, it was cool. It was sing-along material, first of all, and again, just silly. It's like that's the best though you can come up with Denmark after winning the contest. Yet I kept singing it. I was like, oh my god, it's not stop. Get it out of my head, and it just wouldn't want to go away. It's that song though that you want to hit yourself with a brick over and over again, and it just won't stop. It won't stop. That's what the song does to me, and that's why it is this high up on the list. Moving on, my 4th place. 2011. That's how uninspiring this list is to me here. That a song that I even didn't care for in 2011 is almost in my top 3. Now, let's talk about some good stuff. This is actually way more on my radar than it was back in 2011. I just wasn't into it at all. It's that kind of Bjork sound that just doesn't jive with me. It's definitely material. It's a little bit more polarizing, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's fun to watch it, though. Lena went with something very different from her winning song, Satellite, and you got to give her a little credit. So yes, it most certainly wouldn't be this high if I had to create a list in 2011 or 12. But this one kind of withstand the test of time a little, and I can appreciate the effort here. You know what? Not bad, Lena. Not bad. Here are my top 3, my medal table. Now let me tell you who is first, second, and third, and we'll go from there. And I also want to add that these 3 songs are great. So these are the only 3 host entries where I'm like, round of applause. But let's get this thing rolling. My 3rd place bronze medal goes to 2015. Yes, first of all, 0 points. Really, Europe? Really? I don't know. I love the Makemakes. They made fun of themselves. We are the zeros of our times. Great sense of humor. Gracious losers on top of it. Now, deserved a whole lot more. I don't even know what else to say. I think that was the downside of the song. It wasn't in my top 10 either that night. It was probably like 11th or 12th place. So technically, I wouldn't have given it any points either. So I think that's what happened here. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining. It's just that kind of song, I guess. But it's just a really good song. And the fact that it's actually received a mention in our favorite Innovelec, Love, Love, Peace, Peace, at least it left somewhat of an impact. So that's good. I thought it was a good song, perfect for the adult contemporary charts. And with the new system, at least it would have received a few points. But crying over spilled milk, what's the purpose, right? I like it anyway. Austria, good job. That means my top 2 are right here. It's 2012 versus 2019. Before I tell you who won, here are my thoughts on both songs. In 2012, first of all, now we're talking. Now we're talking. This was a great song. Interestingly enough, a gazillion times better than the winning song the prior year. I put that as my least favorite winner of the 2010s. That's how bad it was. This, on the other hand, was really good. Sabrina's voice, it was fantastic. The staging was great, and just overall a fantastic effort from Azerbaijan. Yeah, I wouldn't say they outdid themselves with when they wrote the lyrics, but it's not offensive either. It just feels like a song that is solid, it's good, and deserved the position that it got in the end, which was a top 5 result. That was one of Azerbaijan's prime era, which they kind of lost, but I know they will be back. I like the song. I think it was a wonderful effort, and there you have it. Now, also, up here to the left is 2019, the most recent host entry, and I think this one was a little bit more polarizing. The song, first of all, Kobi to me is the most endearing person. I got to meet him in person. He recognized me, actually, which was really cool. But he is so genuine and a sweetheart, and the song just touched my heart. If you followed our live streams while we were in Tel Aviv, you saw that I was actually emotionally affected by these songs, because it's just my kind of music. It's grand, it's musical theater, and I was totally into it. I know, once again, it was not, I'm in the minority here. I get it. But this is the beauty about music. It doesn't have to work for everyone. It worked for me. I didn't care for the revamp as much. It worked better maybe on stage, but when you listen to the studio version, I'm not quite into it quite as much. But nevertheless, I thought it was beautiful. I don't understand how the juries gave this 0 points. I'm like, I don't know. And the televoters gave it at least a few points, but certainly not what I wanted to see happening. Regardless of the outcome, I thought it was a great song. Much love to Kobi, much love to Israel. Mwah. But who am I going to choose? Who is my personal favorite host entry of this decade? Azerbaijan or Israel? Here we go. My winner is 2019. Yes, I know I'm in the minority. I know I'm in the minority, and that is okay. It spoke to me. It touched me. It made me sad. It made me happy. It made a lot of things. It emotionally touched me, and when music does that, what else can you ask for, right? But there's still 2012, Azerbaijan, round of applause to you as well. I thought it was a fantastic entry. But these are just my thoughts. Now I would like to hear from you. Do you agree that the host entries for the most part were kind of meh? Or was I too rude? Keep in mind, this is just for fun. You are allowed to disagree. Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you, and I will be back with the next video soon. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I said it, at MattESCUnited, so you can vote in the poll. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good whatever.